trying to run my first marathon race in 3 hours and 45 minutes, 1 week after running an ultra in Tunisia. Can I do it? So doing an ultra marathon the week before this probably wasn't the best prep, but prior to that, I'd done 3 months of amazing training from December. So good, in fact, that I upped my finishing target from 4 hours to 3 hours 45 minutes. But then an illness abroad, jet lag, and running the said ultra marathon in Tunisia meant I came into this day sore, tired, and scared. Let's give it a go anyway. So I actually got to the start line way too late, forgot to bring pins, my number was all over the place, my warm-up was not a warm-up, so forgive the lack of filming before I started. And thank you to my boy Matt, who came down to shoot a bit of B-roll for me, so you didn't have to look at my feet the whole time. Oh look, my feet. This was going to be my pacing plan to hit my fairly ambitious target of 3 hours and 45 minutes. The plan was simple: start slow, finish strong. Was a tall ask after the week before, but I had to give it a go.
There it is.
I thought I missed you.
Did a bit, mate.
Did a bit.
Sadly, this was the only time I'd seen Matt, but it's all good. Mile 1, 9 minutes, 6 seconds. Annoyingly, just before I started, I realised I had a slight stitch.
Basically, my entire right-hand side is a goner.
Basically, I had to buy new gels for this race because my ones had sold out. Had one before I started, then I got a stitch, so I was wondering if that might be the cause. I knew I'd have to assess as I went on. But despite that, rhythm felt good. Pace was solid. Mile 2, 8 minutes 50. Kept it easy for the next mile. Mile 3, 8 minutes 46. Solid and definitely on track. This was the point where I took my first gel while running.
We'll find out if this is what giving me a stitch or not. It tastes f***ing rank.
And yeah, it weren't a good idea.
I think it might be the gels. Stitching coming again.
But we pushed through it. Mile 4, 8 minutes 40. This is where we start up in the tempo. This is where we got into the city, the atmosphere was building, it was helping me put the stitch to the back of my mind, and I went for my first pee break.
Still down my leg. Oh, there's some on the GoPro, this is disgusting.
Yeah, lovely. Mile 5, 9 minutes 42 with that pee break, all good. The next mile was lapping up the city, enjoying the atmosphere, the stitch was going away, and my legs were feeling pretty good. Mile 6, 8 minutes 40 again. Getting to the hour mark at this point, the first 10K done and dusted. I was wary of these gels, but I knew I needed to try and take one more just to make sure if they were good or not. And yeah, bad idea.
Okay, that is the world's worst stitch, I can't lie. These gels are not good for me, I'm gonna have to dish them. I'll try and do this without them, if I can do it. Oh, the pain. Shit.
I knew the water stations coming up would be providing gels, so I was banking on them to get me through the rest of this race. Mile 7, 8 minutes 33. Banging, well on track, but the fatigue from the week before was definitely starting to set in.
Body's breaking down a bit. Only a quarter of the way in. This f***ing Tunisian run, man. Worth it though, weren't it, me?
I ploughed on though, and I soon realised that my shirt of choice was a great idea.
Getting a lot of love. It's helping me through the pain. Go on, United.
It's my dad's old one, thank you for that, Dad. Mile 8, 8 minutes 29 seconds. I was actually getting a little ahead of schedule at this point, but the pain was real. Both my quads were going, my left hamstring was tearing away at me. But the fitness within myself felt really good. My heart rate was on point, and the views were on point too. But then...
stitches come back, but I've not had a gel, so could be the sweets. This is why you don't change your plan. I think there's a gel station coming up. We'll sink one of them because I'm getting hungry, and then we'll figure out a plan for the last 2/3. Nothing like a bit of jeopardy, is there? F***ing hell.
Yeah, getting hard now. Mile 9, 8 minutes 38 seconds, dropping off a touch. It was around this point I was able to hit a water station that also had gels, so that really did help me. And we hit mile 10 in 9 minutes 14 seconds. That included a pee break as well.
Right, just done 10 miles in just under an hour and a half. We're there or thereabouts. Popped in my ibuprofen. I'm in pain. Let's do this.
Mile 11, 8 minutes 38, just about hanging in there.
Hope my hamstring holds out, me.
Yeah, it was getting tough now. This was the first point and definitely not the last where I thought I might not be able to make it. Mile 12, 8 minutes 34 seconds. Not even the flies could stop us.
Oh, just swallowed a fly. I suppose I need to fuel the halfway. Oh, that looks nice.
Yes, it does. Also, having Danny Boy written across my number was a stroke of genius.
Come on, Danny Boy! He's now coming in. Come on, son.
Mile 13, 8 minutes 34 seconds. Halfway hit, but at what cost?
Just done halfway. Honestly, I think if my hamstring holds out, which is touch and go right now, I can do this, but it's a big if. The thing is crying at me to stop. We don't stop.
I was really having some internal battles with myself at this point, but we do mile 14 in 8 minutes 20. Every time I was dipping, the music, the crowd, the atmosphere would just keep me going. And that's what got me going through mile 15 in 8 minutes 21 seconds.
Love it, guys. Love it. Thank you. If Batman can do this, I can do it. I'm definitely Robin though. All day.
I had to film less and less at this point because I just needed to concentrate on the job at hand. Mile 16 was 8 minutes 37. We were losing a little bit of ground. My left hamstring was seriously debating a tear at this point. This was probably the moment where I was closest to quitting because I just didn't want it to go, but it seemed to hang on. Mile 17, 8 minutes 19. Good, but the pace I needed was slipping a little bit. Getting stuck behind people didn't help. The pain obviously was there as well. And then I realised something.
Oh dear. So I think I've miscalculated my pacing plan because I've just calculated I've hit 2 hours 30, 17 miles in. I need to do the last 9 in 1 hour 15, which is basically 8 minutes a mile, which is not what the plan was. It went far off that, but I'm just have to go for it, buddy. Just gonna have to go for it. Now.
And so now it was game time. Film less, run more.
Filming and running is hard. Don't know, I
I had 9 miles left and I needed to be hitting 8-minute miles for all of them. For context, I hadn't been training at that pace during any of my training. This pacing plan, in retrospect, was stupid because I never trained to run this quick.
Let's go.
It was game time. Mile 18, 8 minutes 8, too slow. Mile 19, 7 minutes 59. Mile 20, 8 minutes on the dot. 20 miles was the max I ran during any of my training runs. The fact I still had 10k to go in this pain at a pace I hadn't trained was very, very daunting. Mile 21, 7 minutes 54. Mile 22, 7 minutes 54. Hanging in there. Mile 23, 7 minutes 59. Slipping a touch. Mile 24, 7 minutes 44. Where the f did that come from? Mile 25, 7 minutes 49. 1 mile to go. At this point I was just in a trance. I looked like a man possessed, but I definitely got a 15th wind. My pace was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And to be honest, all I was thinking about was all those weeks of training, all the weekends sacrificed, all those long runs, all the hard work I put in, the incredible experience I'd had just the week before. This was a culmination of everything I'd worked for the last 5 months of my life. And yeah, I just thought I've got to give it my absolute all.
How was it?
That is stellar.